Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff, the Gamesplainer, and today I'll be gamesplaining Caylus. Caylus struggles to get to the table because of the Gamesplanation and preconceived thoughts about how the mechanics work. If you break it down, there is the understanding of how the phases work, and then there's the three different areas of the board that you need to understand, need to be controlled, and then there's also the use of the bailiff and provost. Or the big and little white pieces. Issues that I've found in gamesplaining Caylus are recognizing that the round pieces are workers. They need to be individually sent out. So they're not meeples, they don't look anything like workers. And when you send them out, it's going to cost you 1 money per time you send them out. You're sending them to work. Then, once all the workers are placed, you may need to pay more money or resources to actually do what the area says it will do. Also, that the buildings activate in the same order every time, from the top of the road to the bottom of the road. The anatomy of each building is also important. All cards have the same anatomy. The top left-hand corner is the cost of building each building. So that's the resource you're going to have to spend once you've got your worker on the building to actually activate this particular building. The top right is the immediate effect, so in this case you will get 3 points straight away. And then the bottom is what anyone activating the building from this turn on will receive. In this case, 2 wood and a material, or 2 grey and a purple resource cube. Then if there's another resource underneath that in brackets, that's what you, the owner of this building, will receive each time this particular building is activated by another player. That's the anatomy of the cards. That's the really important bit. If you can get your head around that iconography, you'll be in a really good position. Mistakes that I have made when in early plays of this game, because let's face it, this rulebook, not many pages, but really wordy. Look at all those words. There's so much information packed into those small pages. It's really super hard to read and get your head around. So, mistakes were made in early playings. It's taken me a while to get my head around this game and to get it to the table. First thing, when building in the castle, you only need to send 1 worker there. In fact, it is actually on the board, but very, very easily missed. I'll see if I can get this board open and show you. These numbers just here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the order at which you are sending builders to the castle. So the first person in puts 1 builder there. You don't need to send any more builders there, no matter how many resource cubes you're planning on using in the castle. The last space on the building track of the favors section, this one just here, that allows you to build a blue building, allows you to build a blue building. It doesn't allow you to build a blue building for free. You still have to pay the resource cost for it. The gold mine down here, this one just here, that is a permanent building, just like these two. Scoring happens when the bailiff reaches each of these, I'll see if they're in camera, when the bailiff reaches each of these squares, and there's the third one on the other side, each of those squares. It doesn't matter which side this little icon is on. It's not get past this icon, it's actually get to the square. They're the top 5 mistakes I've personally made on this game at various times, with just skimming through parts of the rules or not quite reading them, or it's just not really super clear within the rule book. I've done a fair bit of research to get my head around how to play it properly. The other thing that might be worth just pointing out to you is if you're going to play a 2-player version of this game, cover up that particular spot there, which is the turn order, and you just literally swap first player every alternate turn, and put a marker over the top of the number 2. So when someone decides that the day is done and puts their marker onto square 1, the next person will have to spend 3 coins to enable their guys to continue to work. I understand that a lot of those things that I'm saying are more advanced ideas, but I'm assuming that everyone who's watching this has actually read the rulebook or tried to read the rulebook. if you're not understanding some of the stuff, go and watch part 1, watch part 2, then come back and watch this again to see if you can get your head around it. I really like Caylus. It fulfills all the criteria of a worker placement game. This is actually the first major worker placement game that I ever bought a couple of years back. You never really, what I like about it is you never really know who's winning until the end. There's interaction between the players as you're competing to get each building that you need. You might see, oh, that person's trying to get gold. I don't really need gold, but I'm going to take that spot so they can't take it. And there's also the ability to move the provost and the bailiff around to stop people from doing what they're expecting to do. I don't really use that. A lot of the players I play with don't like using that because it's a bit of a screw you kind of move. But you know, it's one of those things that can be used to benefit. And there's also multiple tactics that could win you the game. I've split the explanation between the basic road and gameplay in section 1 and the castle and favours in section 2. The castle is important for the first game, but the favours can be left out for that first game as well. So you will need to watch both parts, but halfway through the second part, you probably can switch it off if you don't want to go any further. The favours, judge your audience. If it's an audience that's getting the Gamesplanation, add the favours in. They're worthwhile using. They are really good. If they're not quite grasping everything, leave them out for the moment for one game, but then have a second game with them in. It's a much more enjoyable game with them. I hope that this Gamesplanation of Caylus is helpful to you getting the game to the table. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If there's a game that you would like Gamesplained, please email me. If I've made a mistake in what I've said, or in either of the 2 videos I make a mistake in one of the Gamesplanations that I say, please let me know and I'll try and go back and edit it and fix it up so that further viewings will know what the exact rule is. But I'm pretty sure I'm on top of this one. You can email me at thegamesplainer@gmail.com if there's any games you want me to Gamesplain, and please follow me on Twitter and Instagram, also at the Gamesplainer, so that you can keep up with what I'm playing. Till next time, enjoy gaming.